I'm sure most of you have heard this news by now. The WBO have made Oleksandr Usyk the mandatory challenger for the winner of Anthony Joshua versus Andy Ruiz 2. This was at the request of Oleksandr Usyk's team. Now, this is allowed within the WBO's rules because Oleksandr Usyk was a WBO super champion at cruiserweight. And under their rules, a super champion of one weight class, if he moves up, gets, he has the option of becoming the immediate mandatory for the champion at the higher weight class. That is within the WBO's rules, okay? For those who weren't aware. So that's what Oleksandr Usyk has chosen to do. And now he gets a straight crack at the winner of that fight. Interesting move by Usyk. I don't know. Actually, I do know because Eddie Hearn said it in a recent interview in terms of the time scale. According to Hearn, he says that the winner of AJ Ruiz 2 will have to fight Usyk next. That he won't be able to fight nobody else. He'll have to fight Usyk next. Now, that doesn't mean the winner will fight Usyk next. They might get stripped. It might not be feasible. They might get injured. They might have a different belt they need to defend against a different mandatory challenger and feel like that should be priority. So all kinds of things can happen. But as it stands right now, the winner of that fight has got to fight Usyk. And because of that, we potentially could see the heavyweight title change hands once again. Because I think Oleksandr Usyk has got a very good chance against either Anthony Joshua or Andy Ruiz. A very good chance. AJ, of course, is very big, powerful. If he tries to box on the back foot against Usyk, would he be able to successfully counterpunch? Because we've seen cruiserweights like Maris Bridis, Tony Bellew, even Michael Hunter have success against Usyk, boxing him, winning rounds against him. AJ is obviously much bigger than any of those guys. If he decided to box, keep Usyk on the end of a jab, counterpunch him when Usyk comes in. Remember, Usyk, he's very skillful, but he's not as heavy as an Andy Ruiz. He's not as prolific a front foot counterpuncher as Andy Ruiz. No, he's not. Usyk all round is much more talented than Ruiz, no question. All round, Usyk is more talented than most, if not every heavyweight out there. But that doesn't mean he has all the same tools as every heavyweight. He doesn't. He doesn't have Deontay Wilder's power. I don't believe he has Marius Wack's chin. I don't believe he has the inside fighting ability of an Andy Ruiz or the front foot counterpunching ability of Ruiz. So just because Ruiz was able to do certain things to AJ, it doesn't mean Usyk can. All right, so I'm just giving you both sides of the equation here. With that being said, AJ is a bit clunky. AJ did have problems with movers in the amateurs. I think most of us, if not all of us, agree that he lost to Erislandi Savon in the Olympics. I did listen to Boxing Beats and Rhymes' recent video where he was addressing idiots who claim that AJ lost every fight in the Olympics. Anybody who says AJ lost every fight in the Olympics clearly didn't watch AJ's fights in the Olympics. I felt like AJ lost one fight in the Olympics, which was his first fight against Savon. I feel like he lost that. And had there been a just decision, then he would have gone out of the Olympics at that stage. He wouldn't have gone any further. That was literally the first round of the competition. But apart from that, all the other fights in the Olympics, AJ either legitimately won or they were close enough where it could have gone either way, like the final against Camarel. Okay? But like I say, the Erislandi Savon fight was definitely somewhat of a blueprint, potentially, for a mover, a slick guy, a smaller guy, to be able to take advantage of AJ's clunkiness. AJ has improved since then, and, perhaps he'll be able to deal with someone like an Usyk who's trying to move on him and, in and out and all that kind of stuff. But at the very least, I would expect Anthony Joshua to have a very, very tough time against Usyk. Tough time pinning him down, tough time landing his shots, at the very least. I'm not saying for certain that he loses, but I am certainly expecting him to have a very, very tough fight. Very difficult. Same goes for Andy Ruiz. Ruiz being a superior front foot counterpuncher to AJ, maybe he'll have a bit more success, or maybe he'll have different kind of success, you know. Maybe he'll have to deal with different kinds of problems, because Ruiz's issue is his feet are slow. And of course, Oleksandr Usyk has got very fast feet. He's an extremely fit heavyweight, you know, cruiserweight and heavyweight. Well, certainly at cruiserweight anyway. He was extremely fit. He could move around for 12 rounds and throw a very high volume of punches. It was extremely impressive. So against a slow-footed guy like Andy Ruiz, now, here's the thing. Ruiz is probably like 6 feet tall, 5'11", 6 feet. Usyk is 6'3". So Usyk is going to have a height and reach advantage over Andy Ruiz, but not that much of a height and reach advantage. Will he be able to successfully come in, get shots off, and avoid those fast counters from Andy Ruiz? He is a southpaw at the end of the day, so the angles are not so complimentary for Ruiz, I suspect. Just the way Ruiz throws punches, I don't think it's going to be so easy for him to land the shots that he landed on AJ against the southpaw. Yeah, I suspect it's going to be a bit more difficult, because against a southpaw, you're really going to need to employ a straight right hand. Ruiz does have a straight right hand, but it's not that effective from long range. Even if you saw the straight right hand he was throwing against AJ, during the course of ordinary action, it wasn't very effective. And I highlighted this in my analysis video, because I did a video analysis where I actually showed the fight on screen, the AJ Ruiz fight, and I went through it, you know, virtually blow by blow, analyzing what both guys were doing and why both guys were having success and why certain mistakes were made and what mistakes they were making. If you haven't seen that, go to my Facebook boxing group, Hatman Boxing, and you'll see that video analysis pinned to the top of the group. So go watch that. But yeah, Ruiz's right hand at long range is pretty poor. Yeah. He needs to get up on you mid-range and close range for him to do his best work. The long range right hand, not good. And against the southpaw, that's pretty much what you're going to be throwing most of the time, is a long range right hand. Ruiz's long range right hand, not good. So if I had to pick, you know, gun to my head, Usyk or Ruiz, I'd probably pick Usyk, truth be told. Probably pick Usyk. And I rate Ruiz. I've rated Ruiz for a long time. But styles make fights. And I'd be taking Usyk in that fight. So if Ruiz does get through the AJ rematch and retains his belts, they somehow, some way need to try and make that Deontay Wilder fight. If Wilder has still got his belt at the time, because we don't know what's going on with Wilder and Ortiz, Wilder and Fury. We don't know what's going on there. But if Wilder's still got his belt after Ruiz, AJ2 and Ruiz wins, they need to try and make that Ruiz-Wilder fight sooner rather than later, because there's a very good chance that Usyk is going to beat Ruiz, in my opinion. Same for AJ. If he manages to beat Ruiz, well, actually, if AJ beats Ruiz, there's less incentive for them to make AJ versus Wilder or AJ versus whoever, because Usyk is co-promoted by Matchroom anyway, and he's on DAZN anyway. You know? So it's kind of a win-win situation for DAZN and Matchroom if Usyk fights AJ, because whoever wins that fight is a Matchroom fighter anyway. So for them, it's all good. But certainly for the PBC side of things, it wouldn't be ideal for them to have to face Usyk if they get past the Joshua rematch with the belts. Yeah. Anyway, let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Do you feel that there's any heavyweight out there who's been hard done by in terms of them being leapfrogged by Oleksandr Usyk? Because, of course, he hasn't fought at heavyweight yet, and yet he's been made mandatory challenger. But I'll bring you back to the point I opened the video with. This is within the WBO rules. This shouldn't come as a shock to anybody, because Hearn had been talking about the possibility of this happening for several months. Yeah? This hasn't come out of the blue. This isn't the WBO making their rules up as they go along. No, this is a well-established rule that they've had for a good long while. So let me know what you guys think in the comments below. It's happening about. Join me on Patreon. I upload a minimum of 2 podcasts every single week, covering a wide variety of controversial topics, as well as live stream Q&A sessions. Take a look on screen right now at some of the podcasts I've produced so far. For just $3 a month, the equivalent of about £2 a month, you get access to all my new podcasts and my entire back catalogue of past podcasts, including my popular Confessions of a Nightclub Bouncer series. You can listen on your computer or on your smartphone or tablet by downloading the Patreon app from the Google Play Store or the App Store for free. The Patreon app also allows you to download each podcast in MP3. For less than the price of a cup of coffee, you get access to dozens of hours of exclusive content. It's easy to sign up, there's no contract, and you can cancel at any time. So come and join our community of free and critical thinkers by signing up with me here on Patreon today.